Hihani washte. Larissa FastHorse, Imachi Yapishto, Ma Sashangu Lakota. A Lakota person cannot be linguistically or culturally defined as a singularity. There is no I in traditional Lakota culture, no way of defining myself as just one person standing alone. If you imagine me at the center, my definition of self is defined by what I see. So in the first circle, I see mother, father, brother. Those things define me as daughter and sister. As the circles expand, I expand my definition of self as friend, wife, storyteller, cohort of Creative Capital 2019, and on into all of time and space, these endless circles who are telling me who I am. I tell you that because that is at the heart of what my award piece, now called Lakota Project, is. I walk in two worlds. One is called award-winning playwright. That's me on a tampon machine at Playwrights Horizons. Oh, yeah. And that's my play between two urinals. I couldn't get them both in. So you can read together. It's awesome. But seriously, you can see the Thanksgiving play in over 20 cities this coming season. Western theater has been very good to me, and it pays my bills. It's moved me into a career in film and television coming up this season. However, there's another world that I live in that's much harder to define. It's called community engagement artist, community-created theater, even Indigenous art falls into this catch-all category. It's done in prairie amphitheaters like this beautiful space. It's done in powwow grounds, parks, and sacred spaces. The Lakota Project is the third in a trilogy of plays co-created with Cornerstone Theater Company that brings those two worlds together for me in innovative ways. It places my definition of self as someone who is literally defined by the community around me in the center of the art-making process through radical community engagement. So that means that we ask hundreds of Indigenous people, what do you want others to know about you? What is it like to be you? What do you want people to know? How do you want them to know it? Who should we tell this to? Where should we do it? How should it be told? Then I take my skills that are called playwright, and my collaborator, Michael John Garces, take his skills that are called director, and together we synthesize the ideas and dreams of hundreds of people into one theatrical experience. We also combine into that experience not just script, because we don't believe that there's a greater value to script or traditional art forms or cultural art forms or community art forms. We don't see any difference in those things. So we also include marketplaces, community performers, ceremony, elders, anything they really want to do, including on-the-spot activism. We then also ask how we can be of service to that community, and we follow through. Next, we take our artistic ideas that we've created back to the community, and we share them. And then we start over, and we ask all the same questions again. How did we get this wrong? What is missing? How can we tell it? And we repeat that process over and over many times during the engagement period. The community is promised veto power over every single word and action, and that promise never expires. There is no time when art or production becomes greater than community desires, and I want you to hear that. That is key. Yeah? As Indigenous people, I would say 90% of the time when artists work with us, we are there to serve the art. We are reversing that. We're using art to serve Indigenous people. And then finally, in the end, the community performs their own work. They do it to professional standards of Western theater with professional designers and professional production elements. And everyone is fed and everyone is paid. And most of the performances are free. So far, we've been successful beyond our wildest dreams. Urban Res was our first immersive theatrical experience created with Indigenous people of the LA Basin, where you had to work hard for that. There's actually a whole thing you had to do to get that, but you could only actually win back, I think, 40%, unless you gave back all the lands, then you could get it all. Anyway. So in Los Angeles, all of the tribes have been declared extinct by the federal government, every single one. We did a wildly successful play with them. And then this April, we went with ASU Gamage. I hear you, Colleen. And we did Native Nation in Phoenix with 22 federally recognized tribes of Arizona. In 6 performances, we created 2 all-day festivals that exhibited the work of over 400 Indigenous artists, including these beautiful 38 Native American actors. It was the largest, yes. It was the largest Indigenous theatrical experience in the history of American theater. We have dozens of stories of the lives that were changed by this work as both participants and audience members. And I mean, we are talking about a population who literally has to make art that simply says, we exist on our own land. The intentional invisibility of Native people in this nation has been a remarkable success to the dominant culture, but not to us. This summer, my team will take the first of many trips to my homelands, the Lakota Nation in South Dakota. A Lakota playwright will create a Lakota play with Lakota people on Lakota land. Over the next 18 to 24 months, we will repeat this process with the Lakota people on 2 reservations for now, and this is where you come in. We will be working in the poorest county in the nation. Food insecurity is a daily issue. Transportation is difficult at best, and locations are hundreds of miles apart in one day. Lodging is scarce, travel is expensive. Right now, the Lakota Project has funding from Creative Capital, NEFA, First Peoples Fund, and an undisclosed grantor that will be revealed on Tuesday, but we still have $75,000 to get to the minimum budget to make this happen on Pine Ridge and Rosebud reservations. However, we have invitations to come to nearly all of the Lakota and Dakota nations, including Standing Rock in North Dakota. An additional $250,000 will make the first ever Indigenous theatrical tour of those states, giving employment, job training, artistic workshops, and voice to hundreds of Native American people. And then I want to come and do this in your community with your Native people. Besides money, Besides money, we can use donations of flights from Delta, United, and American, rental cars and vans, donate those reward points. We need grant writers, production equipment, and a way to transport them, and we need food. We have a lot of people that we need to feed every day because that might be the only meal they get. So donations of healthy food will make a life-changing difference to our participants. This will be the most personal journey of my life because as you now know from those circles, by defining my community, I am defining me. The project doesn't exist yet, so I can't show you any video, but it's not up to me anyway. But as a Lakota woman with some success at this, I can tell you what my dream is. The Lakota Project immerses you in the experience of being Indigenous in America today. Our indigeneity sweeps over you like a wave of decolonization, a wave of our manifest destiny. You will feel lost and found. You will feel unsteady and truly grounded for the first time in your life. You will have to move and get out of the way or you're going to get an elbow in your side. And you will be profoundly uncomfortable. You will be so angry that you will want to throw an elbow yourself and you will cry. And you will feel what a privilege your race gives you to be learning these things for the first time. You'll be outraged. There wasn't a trigger warning before your young daughter learned that 84% of Native American women experience violence in their lifetime. But will you be more outraged by that statistic, 84%, or your young daughter's feelings? And then as that wave of our indigeneity sweeps over you and through you, you will finally learn to let go. You will learn to listen. You will learn to move out of the way, to get out of the center and to be on the edge. You will finally learn to follow. And then you will laugh with us, you will cry with us, you will be the butt of the joke and smile, and you will feel the strength of our ancestors who are the rocks below us and the clouds above us. We survived, we succeeded, we thrived, and you will finally understand that we are not what is left. We are not the broken. We are the dreams our ancestors had for us. That's my dream. Palamea, yay. Wopila, please join my dream.